Midland Library. I'm Max, and we're going to be, since it's the season of goblins, ghouls, and ghosts, I thought it'd be fitting for this fun Friday to be monster inspired. Today we're going to be making our very own mummy. Now, as none of my coworkers were willing to become a mummy on camera, we were going to have to use a substitute, a hot dog. For this project, all you'll need is a hot dog, baking soda, and time. You'll also need a container to, hold your hot dog and baking soda together. Now, mummies, or mummification, was a process invented in ancient Egypt, but you could find mummies as far-flung as China and Mexico. But we have to ask ourselves two questions. One, why are we doing this? And two, how does this work? Well, first off, if you're in ancient Egypt, it was believed that your spirit and your body would go to the afterlife together. And you don't want your body falling apart on you at like a ghost party. All the other ghosts would laugh at you. So we need to preserve the body. Well, how are we going to preserve it? Well, baking soda actually has two crazy properties. First, it's a salt. And that means that it's going to be really good at pulling moisture away from the hot dog. And the second property is that it's actually going to raise the pH level of the moisture in the hot dog. Now, what does that do? The pH level being raised is going to make it impossible for bacteria and molds to grow on the hot dog, which is really good because those things are going to break down the hot dog, and then we're going to have a soggy mummy, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to add baking soda to the bottom of our dish. Now, there really isn't a measurement for this. I would say it's probably about a cup of baking soda to the bottom of the dish. But really what you're trying to do is you want to make sure that there's a nice soft bed for our mummy. Oh my gosh, it's really stuck. Okay, even it out a little bit. Place your hot dog mummy on top, and then you want enough baking soda to actually cover the whole hot dog. Just like that. You should not be able to see any hot dog from the top or the bottom. So having a clear dish is going to probably help you to make sure it's completely covered. Go ahead and put it on top, and we're going to wait 2 weeks. Now, what's happening is, again, the baking soda is drawing all the moisture away from the hot dog, making it harder for bacteria and molds to grow. But the ancient Egyptians didn't have baking soda. There was no Arm & Hammer in Cairo in the ancient times. So where did they get their baking soda from? Well, it's really hot in Egypt, and rivers and lakes and the bodies of water are going to dry up. And as those things dry up, they leave behind sediment, and some of that sediment is a substance called natron, which for your chemistry nerds, chemically looks like that. And so we've got sodium, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen meshed together, and that's essentially baking soda. Now, they would take that and they would create packages, and then they would place it around the dead person, and then they would cover that in more natron. And again, that's acting just like what we're doing here with the hot dog. Now, what is this going to look like? Well, you're going to wait 2 weeks, and it's going to dry out the hot dog, and it's going to pull all the moisture away. And in about 2 weeks, it's going to start to get darker and darker, and it's going to get lighter. And we're going to end up with something like this. And it should kind of feel something like styrofoam. If it doesn't, give it another couple weeks. Now, some other things you guys can do is if you want to weigh the hot dog before you put it in the baking soda, and then weigh it afterwards, take before and after pictures, that'd be awesome. Then you guys can make a little science project at home. Now, if you guys are more interested in mummies, I would check out an Egyptologist that I got to see back in Michigan. His name is Bob Breyer. He is that's how you spell his name. He's an Egyptologist with the University of Long Island, and he actually made his own mummy with a cadaver using ancient Egyptian techniques and tools. He has a really great YouTube video of him explaining his whole process. So that's all from me. Bye, guys.